Warning, there will be flashing lights throughout this video.
Should we get something to eat?
Would you like to talk about something else?
No. It's just since the beginning of the conversation about Finals Club, I think I may have missed a birthday.
Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I am Reese Lee. This channel is specifically made for, inspired by people who I have seen online or just that I've met in my real life who are younger men or just even older men that do not know how to socialize. So whether they never had that skill in the first place or they lost it, a lot of people lost it in 2020.
There are really more people in China with genius IQs than the entire
The Phoenix is the most diverse. The Fly Club, Roosevelt punched the pork.
Which one?
The Porcellian, the pork, it's the best of the best.
Which Roosevelt?
Theodore.
As Mark Zuckerberg said, this scene did not happen in real life. I'm just going to refer to the character of Mark Zuckerberg as Jesse Eisenberg, or Jesse, to not further spread the false narrative that this is a real scene.
Is it true that they send a bus around to pick up girls who want to party with the next Fed chairman?
So you can see why it's so important to get in.
If people aren't really aware of kind of the basics of just talking to people, socializing with people in person, I imagine the basics of dating is something people are not familiar with, and there are things that people see in media that think is totally okay or even badass, like Mark Zuckerberg's portrayal in The Social Network. So as someone who has dated a lot in her day and dated many types of men, I have dated someone like this. So that is where my ability to speak on this, along with having many female friends who complain about different things men do in dating. And I'm not talking about like the creepy men or situations that could be misconstrued. I'm talking about basic things like this entire clip of The Social Network.
Okay, well, which is the easiest to get into?
Why would you ask me that?
I was just asking.
None of them. That's the point. I think you asked me that because you think the final club that's easiest to get into is the one where I'll have the best chance.
What?
You asked me which one was the easiest to get into because you think that that's the one where I'll have the best chance.
The one that's the easiest to get into would be the one where anybody has the best chance.
You didn't ask me which one was the best one, you asked me which one was the easiest one.
I was honestly just asking, okay? I was just asking to ask. Mark, I'm not speaking in code.
Jesse Eisenberg's character is exhausting.
You're obsessed with finals clubs. You have finals clubs OCD and you need to...
Final clubs, not finals clubs.
Although this is dating 101, don't ever be the person, whether it's on a date or talking to friends or neighbors or anyone you interact with, that is correcting people's grammar. Not only is it annoying, but I can guarantee you probably speak out of turn on some things and people don't correct you because it's rude. Especially if you're someone who speaks with authority on things they have no idea what they're talking about. No one likes being wrong, so the best way to not be wrong is to not speak on things you have no idea what you're talking about.
You would do that for me?
We're dating.
Okay. Well, I want to try and be straightforward with you and let you know that we're not anymore.
What do you mean?
We're not dating anymore, I'm sorry.
Is this a joke?
No, it's not.
You're breaking up with me?
I think she made it very clear she's not interested in dating Jesse Eisenberg anymore. Even if you think she's breaking up with you in the heat of the moment, then if it's in the heat of the moment or she's angry, just accept it, say, okay, or can you tell me what I did wrong? But other than clarification, this scene should have ended here. But alas, it does not.
You're going to introduce me to people I wouldn't normally have the chance to meet. What is that supposed to mean?
Wait, settle down.
What is it supposed to mean?
Erica, the reason we're able to sit here and drink right now is because you used to sleep with the door guy.
This is why I said, after getting clarification that yes, she's breaking up with you, to leave. Because if she said something in the heat of the moment and you then decide to make a comment like this, that I'm breaking up with you in the heat of the moment and then I need to cool off and come apologize, that moment's not going to happen. And while we're on this topic of saying things that are unnecessary and are only going to cause problems. Do not comment about people that the person you're on a date with, dating, or in a relationship with, about anyone they've had intimate relations with, whether it be someone they dated, were in a long-term relationship with, or if it was a fling, one-night stand, whatever. That is in the past. If you are not adult enough to leave the past alone, unless they bring it up and need to talk about a situation, you're only damaging yourself and bringing on insecurities in either yourself or her or both. And same goes for asking someone how many bodies they have. Why do you need to know that? If you are someone who predicates your relationships on how many men a woman has or has not slept with, then you're probably not in the right relationship, unless you are very devout to your religion, and I mean incredibly devout. And you are someone who is waiting to have physical relations with your spouse on your wedding night, both of you, then it doesn't matter how many people you've slept with or she slept with. And knowing that number is, again, either going to make you insecure, her insecure, and cause problems. The number one rule in dating, when getting to know someone, is do not ask questions you do not want to know the answer to. By that, if there is a question that does not pertain to a relationship, such as how many people have you slept with, if that number or a certain answer is going to change the way you see someone permanently, or it's going to take a while for you to get past, then you just destroyed something that didn't need to be destroyed because you asked a question that did not need to be asked. So enough asking people, how many people have you slept with? How many bodies do you have? Unless, again, you are very religious and it's important to you that you both wait until the wedding night, this question should not exist.
The door guy, his name is Bobby. I have not slept with the door guy. The door guy is a friend of mine.
And she never even hooked up with this dude. He's just a guy friend.
And he's a perfectly good class of people.
If you believe men and women cannot be friends platonically, you need to have a reason why.
If your reason is because men want to screw all female friends and that's the only reason they have them, then that's a you issue. And that shows more about you than the woman you're dating. Now, the only time this may be seen as inappropriate is if this is a brand new friendship with someone of the opposite sex and your partner does not approve of or is not comfortable with that friendship. One of my closest male friends is married, so I made sure his wife was comfortable, which is something I always recommend. Offer to meet their significant other and have them anytime you hang out one-on-one. But if this person, this friend, was in their life before you need to be okay with them having that friendship unless there is a actual reason that you feel it is inappropriate.
Because if you are dating someone who has close friendships with someone of the opposite sex that they've never dated, they've never hooked up with, and you are insecure about that, you need to dig deep inside onto why. I have very close male friends. I've talked about one of my male friends in several videos that I have a weekly standing call with. He is married. His wife has thankfully always been like, yes, go hang out with Reese. She sounds like fun. She seems like a good friend. I've never been an issue in their marriage because his wife is incredibly confident and secure in their marriage. And if you can't be that with your significant other's platonic friends they had for a long time before you entered the picture, then you probably shouldn't be dating because there's probably a lot of other things and insecurities you need to deal with first before you can be a good romantic partner. As I always say, You need to be able to be a good friend before you can be a good romantic partner. If your insecurities ruin friendships, I promise you they will ruin romantic relationships 10 times faster, probably after the second or third date. So let's work on that. Also, I want to give a shout out to one of my other close guy friends who just got engaged. Congratulations, friend. I am sending all the love and so excited to see you guys get married, and let me know if you need any help. You know me, Miss Planner. I love planning all things, helping with weddings, bachelorette parties, all the things. So congratulations, friend.
I'm going back to my dorm.
Wait, is this real?
Yes.
Okay, then wait, I apologize, okay?
If you are only apologizing because you are unhappy or there are negative consequences to your actions that you don't want put on you, that's not an apology. You're not really sorry. You're sorry you got caught, or you're sorry that the consequences that were doled out on you affected you negatively. So when it comes to knowing you did something wrong, sit back and think about, what did I do wrong? Why do I know it's wrong? And give an action to that person. Tell them the action that you're going to do to not just remedy the situation, but also to ensure that situation doesn't happen again. And do not give excuses. Excuses are saying, if this happens again, I'll probably act like this.
I have to go study.
Erica?
Yes?
I'm sorry, I mean it.
I appreciate that, but I have to go study.
Come on, you don't have to study, let's just talk.
I can't.
Why?
Because it is exhausting. Dating you is like dating a stairmaster.
All I meant is that you're not likely to... Currently. I wasn't making a comment on your parents. I was just saying that you go to BU. I was stating a fact. That's all. And if it seemed rude, then of course I apologize.
I have to go study.
You don't have to study.
Why do you keep saying I don't have to study?
Because you go to BU.
So far, we are at 3 mistakes that Jesse Eisenberg has made. 1, he did not accept that she wanted to break up with him and continued to make the situation worse. 2, when she says, I need to go, I need to leave, he refused to let her leave and then try to get her to stay by belittling her. This is a surefire way to end a relationship, end a date. If someone says, I need to leave, I don't want to see you anymore, let them leave. And again, if it is a mistake they made, they said it in the heat of the moment, then they will come back to you with an apology. Then it is on you to decide if you want to accept that apology. And moving forward, they need to tell you why this happened, how they're going to remedy that situation, how they are not going to allow that to happen again. That is what an apology is. But not apologizing, forcing someone to stay when they don't want to, and then belittling them is everything you don't want to do in this situation. Let her leave. It's that simple.
Some pressure right now from my OS class, and if we could just order some food, I think we should.
Bullshit. I'm under a lot of pressure from my class. I'm under a lot of pressure from work. I'm under a lot of pressure. I'm stressed. Those are bullshit excuses. They can be a explanation on why you did something, and if it's a one-time thing and the person you're seeing is willing to overlook that or forgive, I would say the latter is more important, then that's all fine and dandy. But that's not what he's doing. He's giving a BS excuse because he wants her to stay, and he actually doesn't value her time and considers her an idiot because he goes to Harvard. She goes to BU. It's not like she has to study. She's paying for tuition and, has to get grades that get you a degree, but it's not an Ivy, so it doesn't really matter. That was very sarcastic for those who did not catch on. People are paying tuition, people are going to classes, people are studying. If it is someone who is like, I need to go do A, B, and C, that's a priority, and you belittle them, why are you dating? If you were dating people to belittle them to make yourself feel better, I can't imagine it's an isolated incident of just people you're dating. You most likely belittle people in your life. Does that make you a good friend? A good sibling? A good son or daughter? A good neighbor? Are you any of those? Probably not. So you shouldn't be dating. If you can't be a good friend, you can't be a good romantic partner.
Okay, you are probably going to be a very successful computer person. You're going to go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole.
She nailed it right on the head. There are people out there that say nice guys finish last, or she just wants a bad guy or a bad boy, you know. Any of that rhetoric, it's not usually any of that. It's usually because you're an asshole and you're not treating someone properly. And if you are genuinely a good person and someone treats you terribly, then you need to leave the situation. That's on you. You can find someone who will treat you right. But there were so many instances where Jesse Eisenberg could have negated so much of this, majority of this conversation, that makes him look like such a terrible guy. I mean, the entire movie, lets us all know. And then Mark Zuckerberg is a person nowadays. It all adds up and plays into each other. He could have let her leave after clarifying she was done. He decided not to. When she said, I need to leave, he said, no, you don't. And then belittled where she was going to school, made an accusation that the only reason they're at their establishment is because she slept with the door guy, which, one, she didn't, and two, that has nothing to do with this conversation. But didn't even stop there. Then he gave a BS apology because she broke up with him, then still would not let her leave. It was only after she gave a cutthroat statement, a true statement, that he let her leave. Now, all of this could have been avoided. All of those hurtful things he said, and she ended up being pushed to say because he would not let her leave. So, moral of this story in this video: if someone breaks up with you, if someone wants to end a conversation, let them leave. Don't try and get them to stay. If you are someone who wants to continue that relationship, and again, they say something in the heat of the moment and they come and apologize, it's on you to decide if you want to accept that apology. But as I've said throughout this entire video, an apology is not because you don't like the results of the consequences that have come to you. An apology needs to be heartfelt. It needs to come with a way to remedy the current situation and a strategy or a plan and a promise of, this is what I'm going to do so this doesn't happen. And that's all she wrote.
Please like the video and subscribe. It would really help out this new commentary YouTuber. Thank you so much.